Hello and welcome back to Canadian Disc Golf Productions. Today we're here to watch the Putt Confidently presents a Project 15 Open, more known as the Project 15 Open, obviously. I am Chris Brown, joined here by...
I'm Robbie Holden.
That's right. We're back here second year in a row filming for the Project 15 Open tournament out in North Peterborough, Selwyn.
Yep. I think that sounds right.
Yeah, Selwyn. Yeah, shouldn't probably look that up before I tried to make that question, but hey. Here we are. As you can see, this is what you're expecting when you come to play Project 15. Lots of Canadian Shield rocks, lots of dense trees, tight lines.
A lot of moments so you're on this course and you're thinking, I should stop and take a photo of this because it is super pretty right now.
Mm-hmm. There's some B-roll from Canadian Disc Golf Productions here. Thank you, PDJ Canada.
Yeah, we saw their OCC event as well. So top 3 in every division that is at provincials will be earning a provincial qualifying spot in this tournament.
That's right.
I don't think it goes any further than third too. If like someone already has their spot, I don't think it drops to like fourth or anything like that.
Yeah, I gotta look up the rules. So starting off, we had Andrew Leyland, Chris Ozolins. This is Calvin Roorda, Calvin Roo.
Oh, look at this.
Tommy Hums showing off his prodigy backside.
Yeah. Starting out, hole 1, this is a par 4, 612 feet. What are you trying to do off the tee here, Chris? Gabe has absolutely ripped apart the left side of this fairway. That used to be a wall, so it used to be a putter to here, kind of where the camera is, and then you take your second shot across. You can now get more aggressive with some sort of overstable fairway driver and get around this corner sort of to right about here. And then it's a fairway mid-range shot up and get lucky through the trees at the end. Yeah, this is a great starting hole. I'd like to start off on a nice par 4.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that you look at, and 2 good shots gets you a very good look at a 3, but it is very taxing 2 shots. A lot can go wrong, especially your first hole of the day. This was a shotgun start, so not everybody started on this hole. Maybe that changes a few things. Oh, look, some hail.
Yeah, some snow and hail we experienced out there on that day. It was, also seeing some sunshine and coming out. It was a weird weather day.
Yeah, it was supposed to rain. We got really lucky with the rain.
Thank goodness.
And you'll notice that these guys probably go in between rain jackets and sweaters to t-shirts, back to rain jackets and sweaters. So we saw Leyland. There's Gabe on the left with, don't want to get the dog's name wrong.
Oh, I forget now.
Kiba? Sorry, Gabe, I forgot her name. Ooh, Calvin is very early. That is the one spot you really can't be, but he got kind of lucky.
Yeah, that is a very lucky kick there. If you kick off left, you can end up with next to nothing, just having to pitch out sideways.
So the only person I think who's got a good drive off or their intended drive off so far was Leyland, who is absolutely mashed up the fairway. Thomas is very much inside, but gets lucky through the trees.
And I think that was inside enough in the left that he shouldn't have those little juniper bushes there, but you never know. They like to collect a lot of discs.
I like this play. A flex forehand here. If he hits the gap nicely, that's a little too cut in my mind. Oh, he's throwing a roller? Yeah. I can tell you one thing. Rollers on this course, never really a good option. Those rocks will knock you all sorts of places. They'll damage your discs. Oz is actually in a great spot here. I thought he was a little bit farther back.
He didn't quite get up as far as Andrew did, but he's in a great spot to be able to try and throw something down this gap here.
Wow. That is something special to get up there from where he was. Long look at the birdie.
Yeah, he'll be in probably deep C2 from there.
Yeah, so these junipers, if you landed in them, you were given a free drop to the first available spot behind them.
Looks like he might have taken that relief.
Yeah, so if he was in it, he could have dropped it back just because Gabe doesn't want you climbing through all the junipers and destroying them. They are fragile and they can get just damaged pretty easily. This course used to be absolutely full.
Yep.
There was nowhere to land on any of these fairways that wasn't a juniper. So
they can chew up your legs too when you try and walk in them.
Oh, as Leyland with the perfect drive does come up early, late. I don't know what gap he was going for.
Yeah, I would assume it was a little early.
Juniper, you get some gin out of it too. Why not?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how you make gin.
Oh, look at that. Learning something new every day.
Leyland getting really lucky rolling over the stone wall here. This used to be, the stone fence, if I'm remembering correctly, that makes a perfect disc golf feature.
Yeah. It's a great addition to the hole, stopping anything that comes in low there. That was a great upshot by Calvin there.
So this is Leyland for his par. Not the putt you want for par. This is, you could get this 3-4 putters and you could tap in a par very easily. Yeah. You really get the danger when you start to get kind of aggressive on your shots. So
it definitely is one where you know you can get the birdie, but yet it still doesn't happen as often as you would think it should. And taking a bogey is kind of out of your mind in the pro division. You don't think about being able to take a bogey on this because, like you said, you can just throw putters all the way there and get your par.
Oz for his 3 as he hits the cage from outside circle 1. He wasn't even that deep into circle 1, maybe 7 feet in. So call it a 40-footer. Good run for the first putt of the day. There you go.
There we go. Great putt from Calvin.
Calvin was on our last footage from the Kings Forest Open, was not having a great putting day, but he's a fantastic putter, so I'd be surprised to see that again.
Yeah, that's more of the Calvin we're used to right there. Andrew here putting for his bogey.
Good putt. Obviously left out a little longer than he wanted, but a bogey on this hole, it can happen. You saw how it happened. He threw a perfect drive. One bad tree kick, and you got nothing coming back. So, bunch of pars and a bogey, looks like, for Leyland.
Tends to be a theme on this course where you have any sort of tree contact, and sometimes you're just left with a guaranteed bogey at that point.
There's a shorter, I believe, in location that gets a little birdie a little more often, but only 2 birdies today. So Cam Zanidi and Marco Canella, great birdies.
Great birdies. And moving on here to hole 2, par 3, 208 feet. This round was played from the blue layout, so it's alternating longs and short pads, starting from hole 1, and then on the back 9 it flips, so I believe it's 10 longs and then 11 shorts, so we'll see an alternate bit of tee pads here. This should be a pretty straightforward chip shot for these guys, right as I say that.
That's unusual for Oz. I don't know if that just came in a little early because of the cold weather. It's hard to say. I'm not going to make excuses for him. It's a pretty bad shot.
Yeah, 200 feet, just over it. All these guys should be having zero problems with a shot like this.
Calvin left that a little wide, but it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, that was gorgeous. Kind of looked a little nose up, kind of stalling back in. Something slow too.
So we are playing 2 rounds at here in the same day, so you got to conserve your energy.
Yeah, and round 2 will be from the gold layout as well, full long tee pads, so an even longer round coming up in the afternoon.
Thomas a little bit long there in that juniper. He's going to have a scary putt coming back. He has pulled the basket up to the front edge. Last year, it was right about where Leyland, maybe a little farther than where Leyland's disc was, so there was no danger on the putting green. Now you can see any errant putt here is down that pit. It is not OB, so you're putting from all the way down the bottom if he misses that putt. I think that's the smart play. Maybe thinking he was going to run it and just putting it right next to the basket.
And it drops off so fast on that hillside too.
Leyland had that death putt, but made it. Solid. You can see he was a little timid there on that putt too.
That's a great birdie to get after the opening bogey for him. Get him back to even 2 holes in, and he can attack the rest of this round now.
Just going in for tap-ins here. Nothing too crazy.
No.
This is probably, I would guess, I don't have the numbers in front of me right now because I am ill-prepared, but I would guess this is one of the easiest holes on the course.
I would assume so.
Moving on to hole 3, called Gateway.
Yeah, and we get a par 5 here too. Oh, nice little slow-mo.
Thank you to Alex for getting us a slow-mo footage from the side. It's great to have that third camera operator to get those cool view pool shots.
Oh yeah. Love seeing some slow-mo throws, just full-on form. I don't know what I was going to say there.
A break, yeah.
Yeah.
Just get to watch it and watch the smooth throws. So
yeah, exactly.
Hole 3 is a par 5. It's not where he moved the basket back probably about 70 feet from last year. So if you remember last year's footage, so getting the 3 is 2 amazing shots, 2 440-foot throws. The first one is just about positioning in my mind.
This looks great.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. I thought he was a bit too far right. So you can see he's landing in the optimal shot, and then you can either go low hyzer or big turnover down the left-hand side. A lot of people this year were opting for the safe, so that middle tree, you have to either pick to go either left of it with a flex shot or a forehand like Calvin, or big hyzer like Leyland, and he's going way right of it. And got to watch out for the spotter stand. No, that's a great shot.
Yeah, another great one. Anything out in that opening there, you're going to be really happy with.
Mm-hmm. If I have my preference, I would say the shorter position is a little more interesting because it really forces you to want to go for a little extra distance on the... Oh, Oz 2 in a row for not great drives.
Yeah, Oz is looking a little off right now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the shorter one gives you the incentive to push the drive a little farther and potentially make a mistake. So these guys are just like pulling something overstable and just letting it hyzer out for at least the backhand players. It doesn't reward that big drive as much as the shorter basket did, but hey, it's still one of my favorite holes on the course.
Same. This is not a shot that you ideally want to have on this hole.
I would wager money that Oz has never had to throw from there before.
I bet.
So this is kind of where you wanted to land on your drive. So now it's just business as usual, playing the hole as it is. He could still get it in three shots from here. So get his par.
This looks pretty good.
Oh, that's actually exactly, if I'm not mistaken, that's exactly where the basket was last year.
Oh, okay.
And
I see what you're saying then about making it look way more tempting.
Yeah, it may have been a little shorter, and I'm definitely mistaken, but it's around that area. It looked the same. Here we got a spotter 10 thanks to, I think I saw Jack and whom else was up there. Either way, a bunch of our spotters that is pulled over. I've been there before.
That's gonna be a tough spot.
Been there before. There's nothing.
Not fun.
No, it's you. A lot of the time you're pitching back to the fairway.
Yep. That's the theme of the rough here at this course is doesn't really leave you much but just trying to get back to the opening.
Oof. As you see, Leyland throws it, not perfect shot, but not bad shot, and he's going to be leaning out with a forehand.
Yeah. Yeah, at least it kept him out enough that he can go to a knee or at least lean out.
Oh, that turns a little more. That's nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. No. Oh, we don't get to see it finish, but I'm sure it's great.
Yeah.
This whole fairway was full of junipers when it first went in. There was actually nowhere to land. You couldn't pick a good landing spot. Oh, you just had to get lucky that you weren't in a juniper.
Yeah, but huge shout out to Gabe and the crew out here for getting this course the way it looks now. It is, in my opinion, it is one of the best courses in Ontario.
I would 100% agree with that.
Yeah, Leland's got a little bit of a look here. He did not get over on that nearly enough, though. But I think that tree there may have actually kept him from the real gnarly stuff. If you get in there, sometimes it takes two to get back out. Oz right in the circle there.
Once we get up to here, there's nothing really. You got trees like within 15 feet of the basket, so you're really not unless you do that, Leyland, but you're really not looking for, you're really not worried about those trees at all. You hit them, you're got a tap in putt for, or 20 footer for whatever your next shot is, so it's nothing to worry about at least in the basket front.
Yeah, in worst case you have to might have to straddle, lean sideways around something, but there's always at least a gap to find.
Yeah, and everyone at this level will have the ability to...
It's a little trickier for Thomas there.
Make anything happen. Leyland really left himself left on this one. He was in a great spot to just put it under the basket. Ooh. That's a little rough.
On the right side. Great par save for Oz after that initial tee shot.
It's pretty crazy, actually, to be throwing, like, in all intents and purposes, that was a birdie.
Yeah. It took him 2 shots to get where he was intending his drive to go in the first place.
Yeah, you can't discount the first shot, obviously, but he did everything he needed to do after the errant forehand. As we have a bunch of, I think we have I'm not going to start speaking. We have a birdie.
Yeah, Calvin got the birdie there.
Yeah, 1 birdie, 2 pars, and a bogey.
This is a really fun hole here. I like this one. As you can see, this is a pretty short hole. It's only 152 feet, and you just got to choose over or under that branch. Dealer's choice. Throw a putter at it. I personally love it. It's well within my wheelhouse. That's probably why.
Yeah, 152 feet seems like it seems really short. Like
I think it's a little longer than that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm putting some zip on this throw. Like Calvin went full, not full, but like he went pretty confident forehand there, and albeit he is 30 deep. Ooh, the plastic playback for Calvin on the ace run / 30 deep. I think that was a zone.
Man, he has such a good forehand.
You just slow that down and just to really see what he does to get it. Oh yeah, totally 30 feet deep. Yeah.
It actually, I noticed from that angle, which I didn't see in the first, it hit like the lip of the hill coming up, and that totally slowed it right down.
That's fantastic.
That's tapping.
That's a fantastic shot from Calvin. Ooh. That's a really bad kick.
Yeah, I was just about to say it gets a gnarly kick. And just Oz he's looking really off his game right now, off the tee. Usually a really consistent thrower. Thomas comes up into that tree that collects a lot.
Yeah, this is a common play from the longs to go over the goaltender branch or the crossbar. Mm-hmm. You don't see it too much from the shorts, but from the longs, you definitely see people trying to pull it over and let it slowly come into the basket. Okay, that's an incredible scramble. Yeah. You almost threw that in.
Yeah, that's I don't really know what to say. I mean, if you're off the tee, throwing into the woods, I guess when you got scramble game like that.
This hole can really get away from you. It's one of the most, like 150 feet, and you're, oh my goodness, Thomas. That's uncharacteristic there, but 150 feet, you're looking at this being, I have to birdie this, or we have to birdie this, and it's just, 150 feet is weird, because then you have to take power off of your throw to make it happen, as Leyland with the long putt.
Nice plastic playback here for him on the putt.
That's huge.
Yep.
Right hand side. This is a little bit elevated too. Like you can see the rock, so it's probably a good foot higher than you're used to putting on, at least at these baskets. So that's just enough to mess with you.
I like the way that they utilize those rock formations into a bunch of different baskets on the course, as we'll see as we keep going on here. Another birdie for Calvin.
He's on fire. 3 down through 4.
That's a great start. Pulling away from the rest of the feature card here so far.
That is the start you're looking for. I think the front. How many holes? I'm gonna say front 5 holes are where you need to get a lot of your strokes because they're all gettable.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Albeit all the holes are gettable, but there's no real danger in the first 4 holes, 5 holes. So, first 4 holes because there's danger on this hole.
Well, and at least on this one, in this layout being from the blues, so we're technically playing the short layout. We get it as a par 4 instead of a par 3, which does make this hole a lot easier. It feels like a must birdie because you know that regularly it's a par 3 from the golds. So all these guys are expecting to be able to get up there for at least a 2, or at least a 3, I should say.
Yeah, 411 feet. I thought I ranged it farther than that. But you know that's pretty accurate. It is a little bit uphill, and you have a low ceiling. Calvin gets over on that one, but into a juniper.
See, but even from there, he's now got 150 feet into the basket.
Yeah.
With just a little leaning forehand, I'm sure he'll throw.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that you don't need to push. You don't need to really get there because to get the 411 feet up this hill, it would require a really powerful throw. So the Oz comes off again a little bit early or late. I don't know what you would call that, late.
It squeaks through out into the open at least.
Yeah, he got pretty far up there actually. So again, it doesn't really matter because it's all about that second up shot.
Yeah.
If you make your up shot, you get your birdie. If you don't, well.
Thomas gets through on that side as well.
I personally prefer going out and getting right of that birch tree. If you get out left, there are, like, you see that tree behind Calvin. He's throwing over all these junipers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that can go wrong. As far as the right-hand side, it's wide open, as you can see. Picture perfect.
Yep.
Caught
nice through the juniper.
Man, I don't remember it hailing this much or snowing this much.
Yeah, it's crazy from shot to shot how much it changes sometimes.
Yeah. This is a weird day for sure. And ooh. Okay, Tom. It's weird. It was a weird windy day. It doesn't look that windy because the trees aren't moving that much, but it's windy.
Yeah, and it very swirly too, so it was hard to get wind reads. But I think the weirder thing was going from snow to hail to sun back to hail. That was wild. Great birdie there for Andrew. As well for Thomas, waving to all the fans.
This is everybody just tapping in their threes, right? Nobody really got out of control.
Nope.
The only thing that can go wrong is that gap. It's probably, you're probably throwing 180 to 200 feet before you clear the gap. Actually, probably even farther before you clear the gap. Yeah. So unless you let go early or late, you really have no danger of getting anything but a birdie here.
When you're playing this as a par 4, realistically, you can go putter and get your birdie.
Yeah, there's no reason not to, but
no
reason. What a goof!
Trick shot.
One day that might backfire. I hope I'm not here for it.
I hope it's on camera if it does.
Okay, maybe I will. Maybe do. Look at that form. Oh, look at that ankle. Oh, that was dangerous. Sergei Gabrowski. Not the 2.
Nice.
I didn't hear about this, so he has a large, rather large forehand. So I'm guessing he put a flat forehand up there.
I'm assuming.
Get it. Hole 6, we are playing from the longs. No, shorts. No. Yeah, shorts.
Yes,
we play from the shorts. So the shorts are kind of strange in the guard. It kind of baits you into this left gap where you can really throw it at the camera person down there that you can see. But a lot of people are just going to take a mid-range putter, maybe a overstable fairway driver, and take this loop that Calvin's taking. Yeah. He even leaves out a little. Oh, actually, a lot straight. Oh wow, he got lucky to get through those trees. I thought that was somewhere else. You don't want to go. You don't need to go far. Maybe 250. Maybe I think 250 may even be a little bit far.
Yeah, and you want to throw something that you know is going to be is going to hyzer. That's a really lucky kick for Andrew there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I did not get that kick either times I threw that shot.
Yeah, I think stayed clean on this hole. Thank goodness.
Oz. That's overstable? No, it's...
Oh, that is.
I wonder what that was.
Yeah, getting off into the rough on the left.
I'm actually kind of confused as to where they're landing. I thought the camera operator was standing in the optimal landing zone, but he may be an extra 60 feet deeper than I think you're really intending to go, because these guys are getting really lucky through the trees. There you go.
That's got to be the optimal drive.
Yeah, that was it. Look at the footing you have to deal with, even when you get on the fairway, up and down hills, over rocks, not so much loose debris anymore, but...
Yeah, this is when we talk about lots of rocks in the fairway. You're starting to see it here, and there's some spots on the course where you're basically just walking across a solid rock.
Yeah. I always say my standstill forehand game gets a lot better after playing this.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I wonder what Calvin's eating. Yeah. Chewing on something. Ooh, okay. That's not bad.
Leaking out.
Yeah, that's not bad. Once you get through, obviously you want to be under the rock because it is an elevated basket.
Yeah.
But realistically, you're happy to make it through all the way and get a putt.
That's
Tom
where you want to be.
Showing us exactly how to do it.
Yeah. just want to throw it right into that rock, essentially.
Mm-hmm. As Oz didn't... Oh, okay.
That's managed to squeak through a good bit.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was getting ready to celebrate there.
And he got saved by the rock behind the basket too. It just hit and stopped. Look at that.
Great putt.
That had to be pretty close to circle one. A lot of people aren't even attempting that putt just because of the elevation. And you hit that rock, or you hit cage, you come rolling off that rock, and you're going at least 25 back again. Oh. As Oz comes up a little short there on that putt. Leyland for his 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, his 4 because he got kicked off the tree early.
Right.
Great putt.
Yeah.
You're happy with making your long putts on this one. Oz with the par as well. And Thomas to birdie. So Thomas and Calvin birdie. This is it's probably one of the easier holes as far as to birdie. If you get a good drive, then it's just a simple upshot. As far as
just a lot of stuff that can happen to you if you do end up hitting trees.
Yeah. 2 good shots gets you a very easy birdie, and that's kind of the play. Hole 7 from the longs. It's a tough one. You can take any route you want, like backhand, forehand. My personal play is an overstable putter on a slight Anheuser. I don't know if it's 328 feet. Maybe it is, but that seems all. I guess that's what it is, 328 feet. I feel like it's shorter than that, but it is what it is.
I think I was out there with somebody in range, found it a little shorter than that, but it's a very tight window that you have to hit here. There's a lot that can go wrong, kicking you off the fairway. Left or right, you can end up with some terrible footing afterwards.
Look at Tom.
That is
perfect hyzer flip. So as I was saying, you can go overstable on a flex, and there's room there. You can go hyzer flip, but it kind of cuts the angle down a bit. I have seen people take forehand, but it's less likely because the left side has got a bunch of little tiny branches that Oz might find here. Not terrible.
It didn't kick him too far in, which is the key. Because the further you get off the fairway, the harder it is to get back to it.
Yeah, that's you just gotta hope. Once you get past the initial gap,
oh, what a kick!
As you say, hope. Leyland donning his Toronto Maple Leafs hat, if I'm not mistaken.
Getting his Lucky Line on with Lucky Line's co-founder Marcus standing in the background there, caddying for Oz.
There you go. That's got to be worth something.
That was quite the lucky line.
That is a very lucky line, getting that kick. He's still going to be in a decent spot without it, but now he's guaranteed it. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. That was a tighter gap than it probably looked like on camera, because I've been over there and it's not as easy as he made it look.
No, he's got such a buttery forehand.
Oz with the step putt, not bad. It's tough to commit to like a full powered run when you're trying to weave it through trees, because a simple pull left or right could leave you a 30-footer for the next one. Oh wow, what? I thought Calvin was parked, but he must have just squeaked out.
Yeah, he juiced that forehand. And when you hit the pine needles here, if you get close enough to the basket, you can get a real big skip.
Tom just wobbled that one in.
Yeah.
He must not have much for as far as leg power.
Getting close enough to the basket, but still a little bit off the fairway to a point where he had some weird footing there. Had to go to a straddle. Calvin coming back here for the unfortunate bogey.
This one can happen. They said he hit early, and then he gave it a run and just got trapped in those trees. Those trees are like a wall. You can find gaps in them, but you're never putting the way you want to if you get through them.
You are constantly adapting to having weird footing while on this course.
Yeah. Leyland for the 2. Very simple.
Yep. Great little tap in there. Oh, yeah. Moving on to hole 8, we've got a par 4, 614 feet. This hole, you have to hit this initial gap, and then it'll slowly drift to the right into a second kind of tunnel that you want to hit. If you land in the middle, or depending on where you land, you can have a couple options on which gap to hit as you get up, and look at this landing area when you get up towards the basket. There's a lot that you can come in, hit off of, do some weird things, lots of rocks to give some weird footing on putts. What are you going with off the tee here, Chris?
I go probably ill-advised, but I go a flippy distance driver, and I'm just trying to bite off as much as I can. I think the more safe play is take a fairway and just guarantee it turns left, as this is way too turned.
Yep.
Ideally, you want to be maybe just to the left of that big tree you saw in front of you. There's no real reason to go for more, except if you want that extra bit of security. Leyland, I think, is taking that mid-range fairway, slow-moving disc, and it just didn't turn enough for him.
Yeah, I didn't get it over. Hopefully, I think he should be able to have at least a look at it. He would probably be standstill, so it'll take off some of the power. But
I'm not surprised to see this. If you have this, the overstable flex forehand is
Yeah.
the play. It just shapes up to this shot perfectly.
agreed. I think it looks like he got himself in a weird divot there.
Every spot
But
on this
that's
hole is a
true.
weird divot.
Yeah, you're right.
There's like you can see a little road going up, and you're hoping to land on that road. Calvin got that a little high. Although I should never underestimate Calvin, but he definitely got that up a little high.
Yeah, and that'll be getting off onto the right side here. Even Thomas isn't that far off the fairway, and you can see how little he has in terms of being able to attack. He's just kind of giving himself a placement shot.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So it's all about, like, you don't need to bite off too much on the drive. It's about hitting the second shot, which, as you can see, is also treacherous.
Yeah.
If you don't get a good drive going, if you don't get off to a good drive here, then all of a sudden the second shot lands in those rocks, and then you have such weird footing trying to get to the basket.
Yep.
As you can see, Oz. Oh, okay. Yeah, a little turned over, but that's fine out here.
Giving yourself a look at birdie on this hole is really the game plan. Just give yourself a look.
You wouldn't believe that this course is just in somebody's backyard.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I lived closer so I could play this course more often.
Yeah, it is a very exclusive course. He doesn't want people coming out and playing it. Or not that he doesn't want people coming out and playing it, but you need to reach out to Gabe and know Gabe and be trusted by Gabe to get out here and play. Luckily, most people who play these tournaments are quite friendly with Gabe, so I've yet to hear a complaint from him about us being here. So
no, Gabe's a great guy from the conversations I've had with him, and the fact that we get to come out here for a tournament, in this case a B-tier tournament out here, just so privileged to be able to come out. It's reminded every time I step on this course how much I love it.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite tournament of the year. Oh my goodness, Oz. That's three putts off the cage so far this round.
Yeah.
And he's still doing decently. One of my favorite tournaments every year, coming out here and getting to play this course and see what more work he has done. If you would have seen this course 5 years ago, you wouldn't recognize it anymore.
Yeah. It sounds like he just wants to continue improving it too, so it'll be an ever-evolving course out here.
Thomas kind of sailed that one almost to circle's edge. See if he can muster up that putt back up the hill. Oh yeah, for the bogey, unfortunately, but still, every putt counts, as they say.
No, that's a good one to save another stroke there. Marcus waddles off screen. That was a good one to save another stroke there. I mean, yeah, it's the bogey, but that doesn't miss, and it's a double bogey, stings even worse.
Oh, for sure.
It's little moments like that where you can limit the damage that could go a long way. As like we said, this is a 2-round event.
That's right. That hole is tough in my mind.
It is, yeah.
So now we're on to the hole Oz has aced in the past, actually.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was on his card, and goodness, I couldn't tell you which P15 it was, but he aced this one, and it was pretty fantastic. It's not in this position. It's probably 40 feet closer.
Okay.
But it is definitely doable.
Yeah.
It's about Yeah, 309 feet. I think it might be a little closer than that. The numbers may not be 100% accurate, but
similar to hole 7 is it's a tight fairway that you just have to stay down the middle of. Par 3, you just want to throw something straight.
Yeah, this is one that everyone on the field. Actually, speaking of which, it is the pound ace hole. So if Oz would have aced it again, he would have got himself a pound bag.
Another pound bag.
Another pound bag. As Calvin comes up, that birch tree comes into a lot for the forehand play. Yeah. The right hand side tends to come up a lot for the backhand play, obviously. So it's a weird gap. I'm gonna say it's probably closer to 280. As Thomas put that a little low, but dead center. Oh, that's actually really good. He's gonna have a long putt for the birdie.
Getting the plastic playback.
I say that, and he's gonna be 10 feet away again. I gotta stop making suggestions as to how far away they are in putting.
Did he get up?
Yeah, I'm wrong again.
Yep, absolutely.
I just like to make people.
Chris doesn't know distances.
No, not at all. I just like to make people's putts seem bigger. You know,
that's true.
Look at that 300 footer he just made there. Okay, this could be not an awful kick. He'll be looking at a long putt.
Pretty ideal kick, honestly. It looked like it kept him even going forward a little bit.
Again, this is one of those holes that just you look at and you're like, I need to birdie this. It's right there, 300 feet, dead straight. You got 40 feet of fairway, and for some reason it just becomes problematic.
It's one of the things that I love so much about this course is it's very wooded, yes, but the fairways are wide enough that they are super fair, yet tough enough that when you miss, you're going to be punished for it. Great putt for Oz there.
Oz got that one above the cage. That's a huge putt. Oh, Calvin.
That's a weird spot.
Yeah, if you've been there, you know that you have a disc's width to get through those trees. So that's probably exactly what happened, trying to make something happen through the trees.
Saw the gap and couldn't resist it.
Yeah, well, when you're that close, you have to give it some sort of a run.
Exactly. A big comebacker to save just the bogey.
Nice, Tom.
And a birdie for Thomas.
Yeah, surprisingly, only six birdies on this hole out of the full. What are we looking at?
I think 26 person field, something like that.
26, 27, yeah. So you can see just how much it gets in people's heads, and that's just this course. It's like you look at it and you're like, wow, this is what you have to do to make this happen. And if you're executing that day, you can do very well.
Yeah.
If you're not, there's danger to be had.
Yeah. And that's going to do it for our front 9.
That's right.
Couple of good starts, couple of kind of rocky starts from the feature card here. We've got an entire back 9 to play as well.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. Obviously, this course is beautiful. These people are shredding it. They're really good at it, so it's fun to watch that. Make sure to come back and watch the back 9 of the Project 15 Open.
Yep, we will catch you guys here on the back 9.